do Fridays and all that. Okay. And today's the only day you seem to have to do all that. Well, no wahala about that at all. Really, just keep doing what you're doing as long as you're not just sleeping, because I think I need me some sleep. Okay, I didn't just say that. All right, people. Hope you've been having a good time right here with us. Of course, after the Brekete family, right now, let's go and do some other family business. We're talking about the senior citizens. Yes, good morning. It is time for the senior citizens. You remember last Saturday, I did introduce this program to you called our senior citizens. So I told you basically the kinds of things to expect on the program. You know, the focus of the program will be on those definitely between the ages of 60, 65 and above. Okay, because you know, somehow I kind of know some people who cannot wait to be called senior citizens. You know, they appreciate, they admire, and maybe they even convert it. Who knows? They want to get to that level so that people will respect them and say, "Hey, you don't, can't you see this gray hair on my head? You think it came by chance and all that?" Well, so if you are like 60 and you want to be called that way, well, maybe we'll just find a place for you somewhere. But officially, though, it says from 65 upwards, okay? Because usually from that time, many people get to retire from whatever kind of work. You don't have to be a civil servant, but then in this part of the world, mostly, you know, if you are a civil servant and you get to that, I mean, you would have retired. All right, so one of the reasons for that, of course, is because you're no longer as strong as you used to be. So all the things you used to do way back then, I mean, you won't have the strength for it. So younger people will be called in to do it. But that is not to say you're no longer important. All right, because we also understand that some of these elderly adults will begin to feel bad. They can even feel depressed, because especially some of them who have been very, you know, who are very industrious. Trust me, no matter how much age tells on them, whatever restriction aging brings upon them, you see that they're struggling. They're really trying to fight it. But unfortunately, it's something that just has to happen, except if you die. I mean, if you don't die, you keep living, you definitely get to that age where you just can't do what you used to do before. And so people will have to come into your life, whether you want your space or not. People will have to step into that space of yours and even make certain decisions for you, because so many things are involved in, you know, being a senior citizen, in, you know, you well, I say yielding for yielding to old age and stuff like that. Because if some people have their ways, they will not allow old age to catch up with them. But hey, it still happens. All right, so I did say that this program will focus on this category of people. However, it is to also take a look at various things about them. For one thing, once you are of that age bracket, there are certain very peculiar diseases that are very, very connected to that age bracket, and so you can hardly escape them. So definitely, as you're aging, that will also come along, because it's one thing for you to keep on living and living, it's another for you to battle with these diseases. So it becomes a double-fold problem, especially for the people around you. We gave attention to the fact that, especially being here in Africa, many of us, I mean, based on our customs and traditions, we are of the opinion that we need to take care of our aging parents. It's like the time for us to return the favor. Remember, most of them will quickly remind you and tell you, hey, remember when you were a baby, you would cry, cry, cry. Your mommy will find it difficult to sleep. She can't even eat. She can't do this and that. Now it's your turn to return the favor. Okay. We know that it's not really a situation of returning the favor, but then it's just your own little way of really trying to ensure that they're able to get through life, looking at their current situation, looking at the fact that they're not just less stronger, less younger, you know, but they're also not as healthy as they used to be. And so every now and then they will need some support. They will need your help to either go around the house or even go around if they have any reason, any need to go out there. So there are so many problems associated with old age, and that is why we've come up with this program. We intend to talk about these challenges from the health perspective, from how families can get involved, and and even how governments can get involved. Yes, it would get to that. There are very few things, if any, that you can really talk about without bringing government in. Yeah. Sometimes they're like, if your food not done, you say it's government. No, okay. In that particular one, don't blame the government. Just saying though. However, this will really form the, focus on this program. We'll look at the health challenges, how parents, guardians can come in, the health sector, what is it doing? Does it have special provision for these people? Now, talking about special provision for the elderly, or you can say the older adults. There is this field of medicine that is known as geriatric. Yeah, I had to take a pause just so that I get it right. I hope I did. All right, geriatrics is this field of medicine that focuses on the health of the elderly adults. Really, elderly people. So it focuses on these very significant and will I say compulsory diseases that are associated with old age, and see how to better, promote their health or even prevent certain diseases or treat them, but then it's basically for the older people. So you can see how important it is, so much so that there is a special field for treating or managing, health conditions of the elderly. Well, we're not focusing on, this for today, but it will definitely, feature in our subsequent conversations on this program, our senior citizens. So just keep it right here. It promises to be interesting. Of course, I do not have any elderly person in the studio today. However, we will be focusing on the challenges when it comes to family members taking care of these elderly people. Like I mentioned earlier, many, if not, all Africans, well, at least in Nigeria, based on our customs, naturally, when you have an aging parent, it's either you move closer to them or they move close to you. I remember saying something to someone, the person's like, you mean I should leave my job because I should go, I need to go and take care of my dad or my mom and all that. I was like, well, we're looking at, an extreme situation. Anything can happen, really. And you don't even want to start telling someone that I can't leave my job, because he's already old or she's already old. She's lived her life and all that. Hey, it's a time for sacrifice. Major sacrifice, really. And it's usually not a very easy thing. Remember, that's why the geriatrics, field of medicine is a really very special one. So that goes to show that you and I, that are number one, I mean, we're not, in the first place, we're not in the field of medicine. We're not medical practitioners. It means we will not know to a large extent how to go about taking care of, the elderly at home because of its complications. And so people are trained specially for this purpose. However, in this part of the country, we tend to take care of our aging parents. So whether they have some diseases, whether they're battling with some of these sickness, for instance, some of them may suffer from dementia, memory problems and all that. Arthritis, very common. And I was speaking with a colleague just a few days ago, and she was like, a friend of hers is just like 40. He's got arthritis already. So it's sometimes some of these things, they no longer wait for you to get to that age limit or that particular age bracket, and you begin to witness some of these things. But then, like I said, there are things that are usually associated to aging. So special people are trained in a way to better understand this. But in this situation whereby we don't have these special people around, I mean, we're talking about having homes, nursing homes for older people. How many do we have in the country? So I want this to be conversational, yes, we're going to have a conversation, you and me, this morning. So get ready with your phone and call me up. We will be focusing on the challenges of taking care of the elderly in our homes. What are these challenges? Just take a moment and think about it. You may have an aging parent, or you know someone who does, or you've experienced it from someone else, or maybe you even see it in a movie. But trust me that it is far from anything easy to do. Imagine the toll it would take on you as the caregiver. You know when they say, okay, a child that does not, it is said in pidgin English, I mean Nigerian pidgin English, but I don't want to have to say it. A child who does not allow his mother sleep will not sleep himself. Yeah, he will also not sleep. So that's it. If you're taking care of someone, it means as much as that person, you know, is awake or is in some sort of pain, it's very likely that you would also go through this. Not exactly saying that you're taking up the sickness from him, but no, because you're also exerting yourself in one way or the other to ensure that the other person is comfortable. In the meantime, we'll go on a quick break. I will come back and then we'll see what are these challenges. If you're in a family where you have other siblings and then you have, you know, and everyone has left home, now your parents need help because of the age, and maybe there are also some other health challenges like this. What can you do? How can you ensure that you actually step in and help them to an extent possible to make their life at least somewhat comfortable? And remember, much focus will be on the challenges because there are several. Imagine you've left home, you now have your own family. How would you, you know, make certain decisions as to how to cater to these people? It's become a source of great strain in relationships, in family relationships for some people, because obviously they are unable to handle that new challenge in their family life. So get ready with your phone, and I'll throw the question out to you, and hopefully you get to tell me what challenges you have observed so far and how we on our own, I mean, if we're not, since we are not those special people trained for the care of the elderly, how can you on your own at least assist the senior citizen that you do have, you know, among you? So just stay with me. I'll be right back after this break. It's 23 minutes past 9 o'clock. My name is Ruth. This is Human Rights Radio 101.1, and the program is Our Senior Citizens.
This is Human Rights Radio 101.1, redefining broadcasting.
that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on me. Said it won't be long. So I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. We be jamming, 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 we be jamming. Just call me. When you need a friend. Oh, baby, now. When you need a friend.
Welcome back. It's still our senior citizens right here on Human Rights Radio 101.1. My name is Ruth, and yes, today, like I said before we went on that music break, of course, that song is also talking about leaning on someone. And I know at that particular point in their life, they need all the leaning, so get all your shoulders ready and all your muscles to do what you have to do. All right, so we're focusing on how family members, siblings, children, can come together and see how they can step in those huge shoes and see, to what extent they can help their aging parents. Now, I did say that there are so many challenges with, getting old and all of that. It comes with some sort of diseases, arthritis and high blood pressure, so many other things, that they will have to keep managing all through the rest of their lives. So, first of all, there is an important need for, this person who will be the caregiver to understand the health challenge of the person he or she is going to take care of. I mean, if you don't even know what the ailment is, you don't know the name, you don't know the things it does to the individual, you would really not be able to know how you can help. You wouldn't know what to do, what not to do. For instance, diet. If you don't know exactly what's wrong with this person, you wouldn't know the kind of food to cook and give this person. You may just be feeding them the very wrong thing, or things that will continue to trigger, that condition, and may just hasten the whole process. I'm sure you understand what I mean, the whole process. I don't want to call it by name. Okay, people, so like I said, call me up at this point and let's get to talk about this. Have you been in this kind of situation before where, you have your aging parents and maybe you have no idea how best to handle the situation? You don't know what to do, and sometimes they can get cranky. Yeah. You're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, and they're like, no, I don't want this, do it like this, do it this way. Sometimes you even think you're helping them, because you really have their best interests at heart, and you bring up suggestions and you say, okay, maybe let's change the setting of this room, or let's build it a little bit differently. So they're like, no, I'm used to this way, nobody will change it. And then it becomes a problem, and they need that change or they need that help, but they tell you no, and they will try to stand their ground on it. So it becomes difficult. You feel like your efforts are not really needed. But then at that point, you know what? You are the adults. And so you should do what they really, really need. So, but call me up. Let's know what are the challenges you have noticed, or what are the challenges that but most importantly, what are those things we can do to further reduce the challenges and optimally being able to take care of the elderly, talking about the senior citizens. So call the number 081 89 99 1011. That is 081 89 99 1011. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Human Rights Radio. Can you hear me?
calling from Area 1.
Okay, sorry, but I didn't get your name.
So my name is Haruna.
Haruna.
Yes.
Okay, Haruna. Nice of you to be here. So have you been following the conversation?
Yes, I've been following the conversation.
So let's hear your contribution.
But there's something missing out of it. I know, in the terms of that age of 16 and above, you don't know how to handle them, to take care of them. You will cause more problem for them. But on the other side, let's talk of villages, other areas.
Let's talk of what?
The people in the villages.
Okay.
You should not even consider about the town, the villages. You will go there today, you will not see hospital. You cannot compare when somebody is 15 years to 30 years. You can be strong. You are able to even take yourself to hospital very far away. So you can get treatment. But in the village today, 60, 70, 80. And they remain in the village, there is no pharmacy. Not even there is even pharmacy. What you see there is paracetamol. So all those things is still affecting them too. It's still one of the things that is affecting them. So at least, if we as a relative, we are to make sure we control our own side, we correct our own side. Government have to support. Because you as a relative, you cannot do it alone. If there is sufficient care or a good hospital nearby, then the doctor will even educate them. Will tell them what to do, tell them what to eat. All the things, don't they?
Okay.
Thank you very much. That's what
All right, Haruna, thank you so much for your call. You know, Haruna just raised a very, very crucial point here. I mean, if we're talking about hospitals and all that, knowing what the problem is with your aging parents, what about those who are in the rural areas without access to proper health care? In the beginning, how do they even, get to diagnose whatever could be wrong with them in the first place, and not to talk of getting the proper, health care delivered to them? That will be a very, very huge concern as well. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Human Rights Radio.
Yes, my name is Shope.
Shope.
And I'm calling you from here in Abuja.
Okay. Welcome.
Yes, based on the issue at hand right now, let me say, I'm passing through the same challenge we are discussing.
Are you a senior citizen?
No, I'm not a senior citizen.
Okay, so you're more like a caregiver.
Mom, you understand?
Okay.
My mom is a senior citizen. And now, I'm not trying to say, okay, these are the solutions we think can be helpful. I myself, is actually a big challenge to me because it's actually bothering me. I was very happy when you started discussing it this morning.
Okay.
It's bothering me. I was even thinking of how to go and visit her today, being Saturday, because I'm a civil servant.
Okay.
And
So she lives in Abuja as well?
Yeah, she's in Abuja here.
Okay.
But she complains a lot that children doesn't come around to see her. Blah, blah, blah. Forgetting the fact that they are all married. They have their own homes now. Not like it used to be that we were all with her. And then, unfortunately for her now, her husband is late.
Uh-oh.
So all these things is aggravating her health. She's having one complication to the other. So honestly, me, I'm making researches on daily basis to find a way to reduce this whole stress from her. And then reducing it from my own side as well, because whenever they put a call through me and start telling me that I should start running down, that my mom's health is becoming maybe complicated. You see me shivering, you see me thinking, you see me, my thinking, in fact, everything that I will be doing that day in the workplace will be so devastating. So I don't know if I could have some suggestions from callers. I wouldn't mind, because even as we speak now, we even got a help that would be assisting her.
I wanted to ask if she had people around her, if there was anybody at
Yes, there's a housekeeper, but then she's still not satisfied. She just wants, if there's a way she could be seeing us on a daily basis, she wouldn't mind. But it's not possible. It's not possible.
Okay, so you are married too?
Yes, I'm married with children. And the rest of my siblings are married as well.
Are they all around here, or they're far away from Abuja?
They're all around here as I speak to you.
So she is more like in a family home now, yeah? In the family house.
Yes, she's in the family house.
Have you maybe suggested to her if she could, just be going around visiting you people?
That was my first suggestion. I think that this will work, but she refused.
She never
tried? She can't leave her husband's house. And we are supposed to always make out time, come around, let's have a get together, all those things. That sometimes we are even supposed to come straight from work. All those. Honestly, it was me down. And it pains me that I only go around there whenever I hear that she was admitted in the hospital. All these things. Honestly.
Well, it can really be a challenge, especially now that you also have your own family.
And I have little kids with me that I'm looking after. And it's not like my husband travels out and he comes in once in a while or so. This is someone that goes to work in the morning and comes back in the evening. So how would I leave my husband, my kids to go and look after my mom?
And I'm sure no one would want to put you in a situation whereby they will ask you to choose. I mean, it's not a situation of choosing who would you rather, be with. But then let's see if anyone could offer some suggestions that may work for you. But so far, that's all you've tried, yeah?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Wow, Shokwe is in this particular situation. I mean, in some instances, for the elderly person to even be traveling, going from one place, even though he's within the same, area, but then moving may even be, well, depending on their health condition and the age as well and all that, moving may not be the best option. But then for some people, that might really be an option for them to, if the children can't come visiting, maybe they would go to visit. But then again, some of them may have certain attachment to the environment. I mean, like this one now, she's saying she can't leave her husband's house. And unfortunately too, and sadly so, the husband is no longer alive. But then she still feels that connection and she doesn't want to leave. Now, these are some more like emotional situation here, coupled with some health issues as well. But how can families get to tackle problems like this, challenges instead like this? Because you won't know exactly what to do, especially if you feel like you've tried to prefer some solution or suggestions and they're not exactly being carried out. You wonder what else you have to do. So if you have any suggestion for the last caller, why don't you call? Perhaps it might just help her out. If you also want to share your own experience, or you want to celebrate your senior citizen. It could be your immediate parents, direct parents, or some other senior citizen that you know that has really done you proud, or maybe even the nation. Feel free to do that on the show. But today we're focusing on how family members can get to understand, first of all, the health condition of their aging parents, so as to know how best to take care of them. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Human Rights Radio. What's your name?
Thank you. How you work?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Tappy.
Okay, what's your name?
Hello, are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
I'm calling from Tappy. My name is Kevin. I'm calling from Tappy.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. The thing that I heard now, to understand. My contribution there, maybe I haven't heard the because normally I hear your own voice clear, but I really hear her own voice clear. Because when she went to talk, the phone is cracking.
Okay, you couldn't really get what she was saying, yeah? Hello? I think I lost that call there. Well, I hope you'll be able to call back. The connection wasn't that clear as well. So please try and call back. The number is 081-8999-1011. I may not be able to prefer, any, will I say, direct or tangible solution to, everybody's problem, because they're all different. Your own situation is totally different from that of another person. I'm talking about, your peculiar situation with the person you may be rendering some sort of help to. And that's why the first thing I said so far was for you to understand the health challenges that this person is going through, because that will go a long way, really, in reducing stress for you and also for the person. Hello?
Yes, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Portia.
Fortune?
Yeah, Portia, Portia.
Oh, Portia.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome.
I'm calling from Abuja.
All right.
I just listened to Miss Madam Sopet's outburst pain over her aged mother.
Okay.
What I want to say here is that the children, first of all, the way our parents took care of us when we are sick, when we are not able to help ourselves, when we are sick, even though it's not convenient for them, they were there for us. When we are hungry, even when we cannot feed ourselves, they could even go hungry because of us. We wake up every animal to prepare us for school, for those of us who are privileged to go to school as infants. Now, all of those things that devoted their time to do for us when we could not help ourselves. It is the same thing we are supposed to do for them when they begin to age. Because they use their strength, everything they have, to also be there for us when we could not help ourselves. We excrete on them. Knowing that they are aging, there should be no excuse for any parent that is privileged to have their kids grow up and have gone to their marriages, or their sons got married. The same way they provided for us, paid attention for us, when sometimes some children take their parents to the hospital in and out. They never give up on that kid or these kids. So it is not a good thing for children who are privileged to have their parents age or aging to now say they don't have time. They are too busy because they are married, they can't take care of their mother or father that is aging. It's a big error. Because now as they are aging, they are turning to kids. Those kids were once in their arms. As they are aging, listen, they are turning to children. So now we have strength. We are supposed to give back to them what they gave back to us. Now, this childbearing thing and taking care of children is like an investment. She is married now with her own kids. She is investing into her kids. She will get old like her mother went there. If her kids say that because they have gone to their marriages or they are married now, they are not around, they cannot come take care of her, she will not like it. What she and her other siblings could do, since they have children, this weekend, they take the children there to their grandmother, since their grandfather is no more there. This also goes to a whole lot of people whose parents are alive, and they're privileged to have their parents alive. They should celebrate them. They should celebrate them for the time they spent training them and watched over them before they became independent of their parents. They have grandchildren. Some of them should send their grandchildren to their grandparents. Let their grandchildren stay with their grandparents and go to school. Listen, the only thing they enjoy from us is not only the money or food we give to them. Seeing us around them gives them joy, even better than food. Food is an addition. So when the woman says, I want to see my children, even within Abuja, in shoppers, your mother is not in the village. She's within Abuja with you. You have to work on your timetable to take your children to this woman almost, even if it's once a month, stay with her. The same goes to your other siblings. If your brothers that are married, I talk to their wives. Please, if you're within Abuja with this woman, or you're far away from her, you should refuse to come to stay with you people. Every month, your people visit her. We can take her grandchildren to her to be with her. Because that's what they did for you and they did for us. That is my submission on this matter for now.
Okay, Portia, thank you so very much. Okay. I have just been smiling like this person may just be speaking, for many, I don't know, many Africans, many Nigerians. But then again, that's her suggestion. And well, let's hope, you find a way to work around it, Shope. Really, I do hope. But, well, thank you for that. I'm looking at the time now, but let's see if I can squeeze in another call or two. The program is Our Senior Citizens, and we're trying to see how we can best take care of our parents that are, gradually aging, and so many things could be wrong, health condition, and like that caller, I mean, well, yeah, the mother also has some health conditions, but at the same time, too, it's very clear that she wants to see, the presence of her children. She wants people around. And, one other thing is loneliness. Loneliness can, it's one thing for her to have her children around. It's another to have someone who will help you, do the house chores and all that. You don't have that kind of relationship you had with your children with the same person. The person may be doing a good job. You may even love the person, but then that fondness, that desire to be with your own children, especially that they are out there, can be strong. And at that time, really, for the senior citizens, it's a kind of they switch. And remember earlier I said, when you know what is good for them, just go ahead, do, even though sometimes they tell you no, because at this point you are now the adult. Okay, yes, they are old, but sometimes you get to think better, so to speak, because they have so many issues, and it's like they're going back to being children and all that. So sometimes you just don't go with what they say. You look at the bigger picture, you see what really is the best thing to be done, and you go on ahead and do it. All right, our senior citizens will continue on this station, and we'll always keep trying to look at issues that are challenges that can bring problem for those senior citizens themselves, or for those people who are taking care of them. Issues like this, other health concerns, whether or not we should even have nursing homes for them. Do we have doctors here in Nigeria that can really truly take care of them. Like one caller called earlier, and he mentioned, the possibility of some of these people in the villages not even having access to proper medical health care. So there are a lot of challenges. Well, as the days go by, we will try our best to ensure that we bring, all of these sides out. Let's get to talk about them, and let's see what the way forward will be as regards many of these challenges that our senior citizens are maybe facing. And also, like I said, if you feel you want to call in and talk about any of them that has done you proud, it might be the way your parent brought you up, or your parents, or the way, an individual has impacted on you in society. Feel free to celebrate that person, especially, if he or she is still alive. Over time we've adopted this culture of only celebrating someone when they are dead. Please, we don't want to do that. Do not wait. If you love me, call me right now and tell me you love me. Don't wait until I'm dead, please, because I will not be able to hear you at that time. All right, so let's do this again, God willing, next Saturday. It promises to be a great time on radio. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. I am still here somewhere lurking around in the studio, and I will talk to you again. But stay with us on Human Rights Radio 101.1.
This is Human Rights